Hey guys, it's me YukiPlays, and today we're gonna talk about these skills. What the skills does, what the effect is, what the percentage are, because sometimes you look at the skill and ask yourself, what does the skill actually do? Because it lacks on information. It lacks a lot of information. That's why I'm gonna help you out, help the community out, and tell you what it is. This would not be possible without Korrak's sheet, Korrak's Google table or what's called, because there's all the information. So I will link his table down in the description below so you can read it out for yourself. But first, let me tell you everything that we know so far. So power form, what it does, self-explanatory. It increases your damage, and the higher the level, the more damage you do. So but it doesn't tell you what percentage it has. For level 1 is 10%, level 2 is 50%, level 3 is 20%, and level 4 is 25%. The same is with defense form. Level 1 is 10%, level 2 is 50%, level 3 is 20%, and level 4 is 25%. Armor form increases your defense as it says there, but it doesn't say the percentage. All forms are the same. For example, movement speed is also level 1 10%, level 4 25%, something like that. Yeah, forms are the same thing. Then we have concentration. What it does is bullet circle shrinks by 10%, stabilization speed increased by 10% if it's at level 1. What it means is the bullet circle that you have there gets smaller, and the stabilization speed also, it's like the recoil. And the higher the better, with level 1 being 10% and level 4 being 25%, both of them. Then we have attention seeker, what you shouldn't really use unless you really want to be a tank and helping out your teammates, that the enemies target you more. But I feel like when I used that, it hadn't a lot of effect. Korrak showed now because he's a tank and he uses that skill, I think. So maybe he knows more about this. But what it does is it increases hate while attacking by 15%. Means if you attack them, the enemies most likely gonna target you. But when you are a support, they're gonna target the support and not the tank. That's weird. So with level 1 being 15% and level 4 being 30%. Then we have Hawkeye. What it does, the detection range increased by 50%, and in PvP reveals location of players, even if you have camouflage. So in offline or in co-op, it's you see a cursor above the enemies, the red cursor, and then you see already where they are. You don't see a red line or something from their body or something, only this red cursor. So in co-op or online, it's not co-op or offline, it's not really needed. It's actually useless. But in PvP, it can help you a lot to see players. And as I said, 50% range when it's at level 1 and 200% range at level 4. Then we have conceal. What is the I would say one of the important skills. What it does is it decreases detection from enemies. Yeah, it decreases detection from enemies, and the higher it is, the higher the level is, the more effect it has. The level 1 is enemy detection range reduced by 25, and hate also reduced by 15%. While level 4 has detection decreased by 95%, and hate acquired by hate reduces by 30%. So that's the thing. Level 1 and 2 is useless because they still see you. Level 3, as long as you not get too close to them, they see you. And level 4, they don't see you at all times unless you shoot at them. So that's really, yeah. And since it reduces also hate, that's also the thing why they go after support all the time. So that's why level 4 is one of the best skills, conceal level 4, that you can need, because then the enemies don't see you. You can just walk by them, past them, and they still don't see you, and that's a good thing. Then we have enhanced gadget, what no people use. What it does is increase damage done by gadgets like grenades and mines, also knives, combat knives. And to be honest, gadgets doesn't do a lot of damage. Even the enhanced gadget skill, they don't do enough damage. But still, I'm gonna say what it does. Increase damage done by 10% at level 1, and at level 4, 40%. The higher the level, the more damage it does, but not really. It's one of the user skills. Unless you're gonna do a challenge with grenades, knives, or something like that. What I did back then with my friends, this skill's not really needed. Then we have trigger happy. What it does is it reduces your reload time. Level 1 reduces reload time by 25% and level 4 by 62%. You can use it if you want to, but for me it's useless. It's really useless because there's like more important skills than trigger happy, so I don't want to waste one skill slot for that. Then we have bullet line eraser, what is also very useless. What it does is, as it says, the bullet line that you normally have is gone. Increased delay before your bullet line is shown by 25% at level 1. Means if you aim at them for a long time, then the bullet line will show. And it also reduces hate by 50%. And at level 4 it's 200%, means it's forever, I think, that the bullet line is shown is forever. Then and it decreases hate by 30%. But also a useless skill offline. PvP probably good when you are a sniper, but unless overall this skill is useless. And talking about useless skill, then we have Phantom Bullet, what is also a very useless skill. What it does, your bullet line gets purple and it builds up suppression, and the higher the level, the faster it builds up suppression. That's it. Maybe good in PvP, it's discussable because then suppression makes your character go slower, but that's about it. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Then we have Human Fortress. So Human Fortress is an important thing to discuss because it doesn't say you a lot of information. So level 1 prevents you from flinching or reacting to damage, means you can use regeneration and it doesn't stop when you get hit. Also, you don't get knocked back or anything like that. Level 2 to 4, the same thing, but it gives you a little boost of defense. And now listen guys, level 2 gives you a 7.5% defense, level 3 gives you 10% defense, and level 4 gives you 15% defense. If you remember what I said about the armor form and what percentage it has, you realize level 4 armor form gives you 25% defense. That's why no one is using level 4 Human Fortress or more than like level 1. Level 1 is all you need because the defense you get from Human Fortress is so low that's useless. Just use level 1 to prevent you from flinching and then you're fine. Then we have Healing Bullet, what is for support. It heals more HP depending on the level, that's it. With level 1 being 600 HP and level 4 being 2400 HP. Then we have HP Recovery Shot. It regenerates HP. It's like first aid kit 2 just in a shot, and then it's a buff for you. And it restores 90% HP over 120 seconds at level 1. And the level 4, 225% HP over 120 seconds. Then we have Curing Field Shot. What it does is cures a status element like stun, burn, poison, and suppression. And it doesn't cure debuffs. Remember that, it doesn't cure debuffs. This skill is actually very useless because when you have Anti-Amulet Kit 2, you already resist 100% status ailments. So this skill is one of the useless skills. Then we have Healing Field Shot, what is like Healing Bullet, but nice to know is the healing from Healing Field Shot is actually lower than Healing Bullet 1. Healing Bullet level 1 heals you for 600 HP and Healing Field Shot level 1 heals you for 700 HP, but level 4 Healing Bullet heals you for 2400 HP, while level 4 Healing Field Shot heals you for 2000 HP. So Healing Bullet at max level is better than Healing Field Shot at max level. But the thing is, since Healing Field is a field, everyone can get in and get healed, while a bullet just heals one player, and that's it. That's the difference. Then we have AD Shots. What it does is it revives your ally with 50% HP left, so that's about it. Then we have Power Form Shot and Armor Form Shot. You know what Armor Form and Power Form does in general. It gives you 25% buff from attack or defense, and that's the same thing. Power Form Shot, Armor Form Shot, just that it's like for your teammates, you shoot at them, that's it. And then we have Power Field Shot and Guard Field Shot. Same thing, same percentage, 25% at both level 4 and 10% at level 1. So like most of the new players doesn't know that, but if you have like a teammate that's level 300 and he has like level 4 buffs, please don't use your weaker buffs like level 3, 2 or 1, because you overwrite those buffs, and then the people that are level 300 doesn't do a lot of damage or get more damage themselves because you use a weaker buff, you know. That's nice to know. Also nice to know is the forms only last for 5 minutes, while the fields last for 10 minutes. So that's why fields are better than forms. And in general intelligence, the higher intelligence, the more the buffs last. So that's why forms is not really best choice for buffing yourself. So I prefer more the fields, but how you play, it's up to you. I'm just saying fields are better than forms because it lasts longer. Then we have critical form shot. What it does, it's a form, so it only lasts for 5 minutes. But what it does is increases your crit rate. If you shoot at someone, it increases the crit rate no matter what weapon you have. And also the higher level, the more percentage, with level 1 being 10% and level 4 being 40%. Nanotech boost. Nanotech boost, very, very underrated skill. Should be used more by people so they do more damage, because what it does, it gives you a slight stat boost, and the higher the level, the more percentage it has. Like level 1 is 10% and level 4 is 40%. Very good to use online, believe me. You do a lot of damage when you have that. And you're also tankier because it increases all stats. So power brick shot and armor brick shot. I tell you about those two now together. What it does, it decreases, it's like a debuff, you know, debuff. It decreases attack and defense. And both have level 1. Level 1 they have 10% and level 4 30%. Now you see that your attack buff and defense buff have 25% and debuffs are 30% at max. So it means that's why you never want to get virus shotted in co-op or in PvP, because you have that negative 5% debuff, and this is very bad. But also remember that it's a power break shot, and armor break shot means it's only lasts for 5 minutes, while virus shot, it's not really a shot, it's a field. And this virus shot is also only available when you have DLC 4, Dissonance of Nexus. Virus shot is the same as armor brick and power brick, just together it decreases defense and attack, level 1 10% and level 4 30%. Then we have skill free shot. As you know, it's very annoying to use that in PvP, but it's a skill, so if you use a PvP, that's it. It's here for a reason, you know, because Avatar PvP is very, very unbalanced. And I think skill free shot is okay, but some people dislike it, and then a lot of drama happens. But what it does is it prevents players from using skills and gadgets, only player-like enemies like Kirito, yourself with your avatar, Livre, and also the Ninja Brothers, like Agio and Bigi, or how it's called. They also have like skills. The higher the level, the longer it lasts. Also does it decrease hate, also aggro, with level 1 decreases aggro by 50% and level 4 decreases aggro by 30%. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like level 1 skill freeze only lasts for like 5 seconds, while level 4 lasts for 30 seconds. That's what it feels like. Alright, toxic gas blast, guys. What it does is it slowly builds up poison at level 1, and at level 4 also builds up poison instantly, or should actually build up instantly. And the damage of this skill depends on your weapon. So the better your weapon is, the more damage it does. I'm not sure, but it should be like that. The same with this toxic gas blast is the same as blazing blast. Blazing blast inflicts blaze, and level 4 inflicts blaze instantly, should inflict instantly, and the damage also depends on your weapon. Then we have the stun shot, and we know we love the stun shot, guys. You know why we love the stun shot. What it does is it stuns the enemy. what a surprise. The higher the level is, the faster you stun the enemies. Like level 4 being very good, that's why I use level 4 entry with one build, so you can stun them in like 2 shots immediately. And the damage is based on your weapon and optical damage stat, I think. That's nice to know. Then we have explosive shot. Not many people use explosive shot. It's good to use in PvP, especially breakthrough 4 and explosive shot hurt. And for behemoth, a lot of people use that because it does a lot of damage when you use snipers, but it has to be a specific sniper like Grim Reaper, Tiamat, breakthrough 4. And yeah, the higher the level, it depends on your weapon, the more damage it does. For example, if you use like a shotgun with stun shot, it doesn't do a lot of damage. But with snipers, it does good damage. Then we have heat detonator, what is a skill that's only used by Gatling guns. What it does is when you shoot enough with the Gatling gun, your heat increases. And when you like do too much, then you can't shoot anymore because it's overheated. Heat detonator prevents it. You use the skill and the heat goes down. And damage depends on the weapon you have, so higher the level, the more damage you do, but also depends on the weapon you have. And it inflicts blaze. If you're lucky, it inflicts blaze, and that's about it. Then we have Plasma Blast. I heard something very nice information about Plasma Blast. The higher the level, the more damage it does, and depending on the weapon you have, also the more damage it does. But it's also depending on your optical attack. Means if you put optical attack chip on your rocket launcher or grenade launcher, Plasma Blast does a lot of damage. So that's a good thing to know. I didn't know that first, so thank you for that, for the information. But yeah, so, and this is also very usable on Behemoth, for example, what I use a lot for my grenade launcher, Gold. Then we have Nemesis Burst. So Nemesis Burst is not really used a lot, because what it does is it does a lot of damage depending on the weapon and depending on how much HP you have left. Means the less HP you have left, like if you have like a red health bar, the more damage it does. But since we have like a lot of supporters in online, or like first aid kit 2, regeneration accessories, you will never be mostly on low HP. So this skill depends on if you gonna be risky and stay on red health bar forever, so you can use Nemesis Burst. But I don't know, man. It's like user skill. The skill depends on your weapon, the damage, and the higher the level, the more damage it does, but that's it. Now, Tranquilizer Shot, the most useless skill in this game. What it does is reduces hate by 750 at level 1 and 2000 by level 4, but it only lasts for like 10 to 20 seconds. So it's useless, because even if you shoot it at the enemy, they're still gonna target you for some reason, so it doesn't matter. When you're a support, they target you anyway. Alright, Eagle Eye Beacon. That's what I use for my sniper. What it does is when you shoot it at the specific spot on the enemy, a circle appears. And this circle helps with auto aim. So if you aim it at the weak spot, the people that are bad at aiming can use auto aim, and it aims at the weak spot. It's also very good for the sniper, especially when you wanna do the roll strat, what I do, because I can't do it normally with aiming. So when you use Eagle Eye Beacon, it helps with the roll strat. And the higher the level, the longer it lasts. For like level 1 is 15 seconds and level 4 is 45 seconds. Now also my favorite skill here, Gravitation Shot. What Gravitation Shot does is it puts like a black hole, and depending on your weapon it does a lot of damage, and it's also depending on your explosive attack chip, I think. But also the higher the level, the more suck power it has. With level 1 has 7.5 meters suck power, and level 4 has 15 meters suck power. So when you aim at that or use that and you spam that, oh, this is funny to use. Then we have Dash Attack. Also a skill that get used a lot by Switch Glitch, so it one-hits Behemoth. What it does, it deals damage depending on your weapon, but also the closer you are, the more damage it does, and the higher the level, the more damage it does as well. And I think also the range is higher when the level is higher. I'm not sure about that, but this skill not really good unless you use it for Switch Glitch or PvP maybe, but nonetheless not a good skill to use. Then we have Quick Shot. What Quick Shot does, guys, you know that a lot of people use that for long stroke type Z. It shoots quick bullets out of it, and you can spam it when you do the cancel animation. And level 3 and 4 has like the same bullets that come out of the gun, just that level 4 is like has more recharge time, so that's why people use more level 3 and 2 to spam it and not level 4 and 3, because the recharge time at level 4 is too high to spam it. But I also saw people using level 2, 3 and 4. I'm not a favorite of that, but level 2 and 3 should be enough, guys. So it does a lot of damage with like most of the pistols. Then we have Acrobatic Fire, what people never use. Like It fires 1 volley at enemies while dodging left and right at level 1, and level 4 fires 4 volleys at enemies while dodging left and right, and you are invulnerable to damage, means you can't get shot anymore while using that skill at level 4. But very useless skill. Depending on your weapon it does damage, but it's so low, not really good at using. Unless you use it just for fun at smaller enemies, but for bosses, eh. Then we have Slide Shot. Self-explanatory, you shoot while sliding towards the enemy, and at a close range it does more damage. Like you hit the enemy in the end, so that also does damage. And I think, I'm not sure, but this skill also depends on your strength. On your strength does a lot of damage, and the higher the level, the more damage it does, and the more range you can use it. Then we have Scatter Wheel. Scatter Wheel is funny. Scatter Wheel shoots while jumping, and at level 2 you shoot 2 times while jumping, and level 3 you shoot 3 times while jumping, and level 4 is the same thing, but 3 times shooting. But level 4 you also invulnerable to damage, means you have invisibility while shooting at level 4, means you can't get any more damage. And I realized in PvP that Moonlight and Scatter Wheel 4 is very good. It hurts. You should try that out. Then we have Gunstinger. What it does is charge toward enemy, and then you deal damage based on the weapon you have in hand and the higher the level it is. And it's also requires high strength if you want to do more damage, but this skill is not really used a lot, since it's actually useless unless you're gonna use it for fun, or maybe PvP, discussable, but even in PvP I don't saw a lot of people using that. Then we have Sentry Style. Sentry Style is a skill what I will never use, because it removes all your buffs, like attack buff, defense buff, movement buff, probably, I don't know. And because it has its own buff, power form, defense form, and trigger happy at level 3. That's are the buffs that Sentry Style has. But you are forced like to crouch and have a aim all the time, and then you can't move. And I mean, you can move, but then the Sentry Style is gone. So this skill is actually really useless. Then we have Tech Roll. Tech Roll is also one of the funniest skills. What it does, you probably used it one time because it's a standard skill, default skill that everyone has at the beginning by starting this game. You roll and reload at the same time. And level 2, you roll and reload, but you also attract enemies, like it has hate. And level 3 and 4 does damage. So when you have gun and sword, because it's also available for gun and sword, dual wield, and you have a Gesida and use Tech Roll, guys, while it does damage, use it. And you see it for yourself. It does good amount of damage. It's funny. So yeah. Then we have Taunting Yell. What it does is it raises enemy hate. So when you use it, you provoke the enemy and it focuses on you, like instantly. And it doesn't really do a lot. Like what it also does is it triggers mines to activate already. Also triggers hyper awareness when using PvP and someone has hyper awareness. Use Taunting Yell and it activates, but PvP not really usable. Unless it's hero PvP, you can probably use it, but that's it. Then we have Shield Matrix. Also one of the nice skills. Shield Matrix, what it does, you get like a little shield, you can't get shot by it, and also saves your life most of the time. And you can hold it for a longer duration. Level 2, you get a little bit of HP regeneration. Level 3 and 4 gives an explosion, and depending on the weapon you have, it does a lot of damage. Like have Shield Matrix 3 and 4 and a Cedar. Yes, it does. Yes, it's broken. Alright, then we have Omnivenitas. A skill no one uses, like really. Online, never use it. It's so useless. What it does like a level 1 it does 2 quick steps or something like that. Flash steps, Hawkorx is gonna call it. And level 2, 3 and 4, 3 quick steps, but it gets harder to aim at you or something like that. It's really useless, and no, I don't use that. Replenish Gadget. What it does is it reduces Gadget recharge time by 50% at level 1, and at level 3 and 4 recharge Gadget's recharge time by 100%, so it's like instant. But level 4 has like a faster cooldown, like faster recharge time than level 3. So, but no one uses that because Gadgets, nah. Unless it's like first aid kit or anti-helmet kit, no one uses Gadgets. to be honest. Then we have hyper awareness. So a lot of people know that skill because a lot of people use it. What it does is you get like a little aura and then automatic dodge all attacks. You go backwards when you are attacked, including debuffs, flashbang. But debuffs only when it's like a power break or armor break. When it's like a field, it doesn't activate. So all shot types of debuffs. And grants 5 seconds invulnerability when you get hit. So after you get hit, you have 5 seconds, you are safe, then you're not safe anymore. It doesn't activate when you use skills yourself or roll, jump, use grappling hook or something like that. Then it doesn't activate. And when you are in a laggy lobby, it's very bugged. So that's why I prefer shield matrix over hyper awareness. Now the sword skills, what will be the last thing? Sword skills, so sword barrier, what it does, it blocks incoming bullet from the front, but you are still vulnerable from the right foot or behind. Like if someone shoots you from behind, you still get damage, or your right foot in front still get damage as well. There's like a little information about sword barrier that I can tell you is when you have dual wielded swords, like sword and gun, and your sword barrier active, while you use Warp Strike or dual orbital, you can't get hit from the front. And it's only Warp Strike and dual orbital. I think that's like really nice to know, because then you are safe on the front while you use a Warp Strike or dual orbital and they can do nothing about it. Like only Kirito and Kiriko has this, but also for PvP, like in general Avatar PvP, I can imagine this is very broken. But yeah, then we have Sharp Nail. Sharp Nail, what it does 3 strikes depending on the weapon you have, it does damage. So while level 2 you can use it while mid-air. Then we have Vorpal Strike, also depending on the weapon you have, it does a lot of damage. While level 1 doesn't really charge. Level 2 you can charge it 1 time, and level 3 you can charge it 2 times to make more damage. And level 9 is also the same 3 times, but it does like more damage. Then we have Star Splash. Star Splash does like a flurry of thrusts at level 1. It's like a fast thrust. Level 2 does the same thrust, but it's a little bit longer. Level 3 is the most longest thrust. Like it lasts for like 10 seconds or something. That's why level 3 is my favorite Star Splash skill. Level 4 is like a quick thrust, like zack 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 and then it's done. So, and depending on the weapon you have, the more damage it does. But level 3, use level 3, believe me, it's so good. Then we have horizontal square. It does 4 close range slashes. It does 4 close range slashes, and then does like a shockwave or something. At level 1 it does 1 shockwave. At level 2 does 2 shockwaves. Level 3 and 4, 3 shockwaves. And the higher the level, the more damage it does. And depending on your weapon, also the more damage it does. Then we have dual orbital. What it does, you charge forward in doing like a spin attack, and at level 2 you can use it mid-air and goes to level 4. And based on your weapon, the more damage it does. Then now we comes to the last 3. What is DLC? Cyclone is DLC 4 skill. You get it while doing the main story. There's one of Nexus, by the way. What it does like a sweeping attack that knocks back enemies. It does like a circle attack. And correct me if I'm wrong, the higher the level, the more you can use it, I think. While level 1 and 2 is just 1 circle, and level 3 and 4 you can do 2 circles. I think that's wrong, sorry. I never played AG a lot because I hate playing him. Sorry, Korax. But yeah, I'm not sure, but depending on your weapon, the more damage it does. Last 2, Divine Blossom, a skill from DLC 3 after clearing Alice quest. What it does, it's like Vorpal Strike, but you charge into an enemy and then you slash them. And you can change direction while performing it, and it also can cast mid-air. But I had a feeling like when I use it mid-air, it targets multiple people. Like if you kill the first one while charging it mid-air, it goes to the next one immediately. That's what I felt like using that, but I'm not sure. So needs more testing, to be honest. Then the last skill for this video, guys, it's Azure Tempest. What it does, actually, it's a DLC 3 skill as well, after clearing user's request. And what it does is, you can use it on the ground, so you do 2 more slashes while doing that. And you also can use it mid-air. And it knocks back the enemy. It does like a ground attack, and then it knocks back enemies. Unless they have human fortress, then it doesn't knock them back. And depending on the weapon, it does more damage. Alright guys, and that's all the skills. I'm not gonna explain the gadgets because there's only like 2 gadgets that need to explain, and that's melee booster and first aid kit. And it's like obvious what they do. First aid kit 1 does regenerate, and level 2 is regenerating even faster. And melee booster kit is 20% at 1 and 30% melee attack at level 2. And anti-ailment is also self-explanatory. Level 1 is 50% resistance to status ailment, and level 2 is 100% resistant to status ailment. So that's all you need to know. So yeah, I hope you did understand everything well, because I had to read some stuff here while doing this, and yeah, I really hope you guys did understand that, because I want to help you guys out so you understand more of the skills and now have a little bit more knowledge about this game. So I hope you like this little information about the skills, and thanks for watching, and as always, see you in the next video. Bye bye.